Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, the water, above, called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone that teaches this truth, which I believe to the Holy Scriptures line up with prophecy, 100% of the truth. I'm your brother Malakama, and the title of my lesson today is going to be Esau and Eve. And Esau and Eve go together like peanut butter and jelly, you know. This goes all the way back from the time in Genesis, you know. Esau being the serpent and Eve being the gullible, you know, listening to the philosophy of Esau Edom, and therefore, you know, going off and, you know, bringing sin upon our nation. Let me put my spectacles on. Eve, you know, a lot of Eves you see today. I remember when I first seen Eve, you know, when they first started sporting their, like the bull ring in the nose, or they call it the septum ring. And you see a lot of the Eves, you know, that's the fashion of the day, where they sport these fashion rings in their nose. And that, you know, goes back to like having a wild beast, a bull, or whatever you're trying to control. You put the septum ring in there, and being that the nose is very sensitive, you're able to, and they do it in camels as well, where you're able to control that beast and have it, you know, do whatever you want it to do. And I kind of relate that to Eve, because she's being led by her oppressor, man, by Esau Edom. And she does it willingly, you know. And that's kind of just a sign of, you know, where her mind and where her thought, where her thinking is. Esau, you know, is another way to categorize a lot of our Eves, man. They're like Esau's pit bull. You know, Eve, you know, she can go to work. She can work for Esau, and he can put her in a position over the males, over the men of Israel. You know, she gonna come down hard on them. You know, but then as soon as she go in front of her boss, you know, she can show that she has obedience. You know, she can speak. She can go back into a feminine state and know how to be around and conduct herself with Esau Edom. You know, you see it all the time in the stores. You see Eve, you know, she's very comfortable around these other nations, mainly Esau Edom, man. And she can talk to them in a very soft-spoken and spirited, you know, tone. But as soon as she leave and go back to, you know, whoever her boyfriend or whoever her husband is, you know, Eve just, you know, she lets loose. You know, she comes all out with all type of, you know, cussing them out, cussing the Jakes out. You know, any man, or for that sake, you let have an Eve being working the cash register. You get in front of them, and you say the wrong thing, or you come at them. You know, you just kind of say the wrong thing that, you know, that they may trigger them, and they're going to show you who they are, man. And same thing when she goes back to her husband. She can be at work all day under control and know how to conduct herself. As soon as you get home in front of her husband, you know, Eve displays a whole nother side. And that's why she said Eve is Esau's pit bull, man. And you know, you ought to see that in politics too. They'll put these a lot of these women politicians out front, and then, you know, anytime she talks to you male Jakes, man, you men of Israel, you know, she talks with a condescending, you know, tone, but very contentious to the men of her nation. And one thing he does, he employs Eve to help organize and manage his wicked enterprise. Because, you know, Eve is very good at organizing and set things up, you know. So Esau uses it to his advantage, not only to put her over top of the men of the nation, and you find a lot of them in resources, human resources, places like that, but to keep a check on the men of Israel. And this goes all the way back to a time of slavery, where I've been reading, where they, you know, they would have Eve in certain positions, you know, over the men, that were in slavery. And he does this to help Ford and build his enterprise. And in the same sense, he destroys our enterprise, our national enterprise, that anything that we try to put together. Eve knows Jake does not like the harlot appearance. So, you see a lot of these women now, the way the fashion of this world today is like to be in the appearance of a harlot, with the blonde hair or different color hair, these outrageous eyelashes, these drawn on eyebrows, and pounds of makeup, the overuse of lipstick, just all these things, like say with the septum rings and all these different type of piercings, and with the tattoos. And we're not even going to go into the clothing, man. She likes to take on the appearance of a harlot, because really deep down, our women are harlots, in the society. And that goes back because, women are only supposed to have with one man. And all the women of our nation, they haven't just been with one man, especially here in the West. Eve is really a harlot, and she puts on the appearance of a harlot because that's what Esau fan is about. That's why Eve wears these blonde, cheap wigs and body revealing outfits and long eyelashes and BBLs. Most Jakes, we don't care for that. The men of Israel. Any type of man with integrity. Jakes. They don't care for that. The long, crazy. The wigs that they put on. The different color wigs, the eyelashes. Most Jakes don't. They don't. Jake's mostly against that type of look, But Esau Edom, man, because he loves degeneracy. He loves that harlot look. That's why he goes out. You see the whores on the corner, man. He spends his money, to buy them because he loves that look, And he really looks at our women almost, just as a sexual object. He thinks of all our women as being nothing but there for his satisfaction. And to the nigger woman, to her offspring, this degeneracy, it makes her neglectful of her home and her offspring. And she's going to pass these traits on down to her daughters, from one generation on to the next. Now you see where we're at right now with the fashion amongst our women. Going to start off in Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made, Yahweh. And he said to the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So this is Esau Edom talking to the woman, They say a serpent, but, he has characteristics of a serpent. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, talking about Yahweh, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. So he had already got in her head, and he's convinced her that she could eat this fruit. And the fruit is representative of philosophy, taking on the ways of these devils. And so she followed after the philosophy of this devil, and she brought this wickedness into our nation, man. Where she brought it back to Adam, and Adam ended up going off, and it was the beginning of our downfall. The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are the oppressor, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. And the children that's talking about is Esau Edom, man. He's like a child, if you think of that movie Home Alone, the badass child that left up to his own devices, man, pretty much tearing up the whole house. Esau Edom has rule over the world, and right now he's in destruct mode, man, tearing up the whole world. says, as for my people, children are the oppressors. And that's referring to Esau Eve. He's ruler of the world right now, the hammer. And woman rule over them. So the woman rule over our nation. You know, he put the women ahead of all of the household with this queen mother worship, you know, that they have going on here in the West. You know, they put the women at a higher estate over the man. With this woman worship they have going on here. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and to destroy the way of thy paths. And anytime it's anything that's being led by the woman, because she's not supposed to be in a leadership position over a man, it's going to be chaos, man. It's going to fall off the rails. As it says here, and destroy the ways of thy past. And that's going to lead us further into error and going off. Because once he put Eve in charge, and, you know, which they done with a lot of their policies and took the man out of the house, she's the main teacher of the children. And so that next generation of children, man, is going to be destroyed up under her leadership. And we see the results of that today. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And that's a law given by Yahweh, man. She's not supposed to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. You know, when she's, you know, being around her man, conducting business or any other affair, she's supposed to remain in silence, man, until he called upon her. But, you know, like I say, we in the West, and they have this woman worship going on here, man. And it's mainly you Jakes, man, you really fell into it. You worship the hell out of these women. You even see it in the church houses, man. These church houses, so-called church houses, man, are ran by women, the women of our nation. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth a house, but a foolish plucketh it down with their hands. A lot of our women, they break up their own homes, man. You know, they do have a marriage with a decent man. Most women are going to be the first ones going to file divorce. And according to statistics, it's like 80% of the women are the ones that go down there and initiate the divorce. And therefore, she's a foolish woman, and she destroys her own home, man. And you know the statistic behind, when you have a broken home, you know, the kids, their rate of success dramatically decreases, man. Chance of them getting in trouble, you know, getting into the streets, drugs, and whatever situation. A lot of that comes from these broken homes that's led by the women. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. But the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards the son towards her daughter. So Lord said these things are going to happen. You know, that's by, you know, Eve, our people going off, Eve going off, you know, following the ways of the devil. And her eyes are going to be evil towards her husband and towards her children. And you see that today, man. A lot of these Eves, you know, it has a spirit in them. They really can't stand men, you know. And it's not just a few of them, it's a lot of them, man. It's in them, man. They detest, you know, you male Jakes, man. The men of our nation. Job chapter 39, verse 13. We're going to read on down to 17. Gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto an ostrich, which leaveth their eggs in the earth and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, and that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because God, Yahweh, had deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding. So this is the Lord saying this, you know, this is what he deprived her of these things, you know. That's why she's not supposed to be in a leadership position. She's supposed to be up under her man. Her man is supposed to be the one that's making the rules and the guidance and guiding her, you know. And like I said, she's become hardened against her, you know, her young ones, man, as though labor is in vain without fear. And you find majority of our women, man, they don't even a child has, I think it has like 50 to 70% chance of being destroyed in his mother's womb, and that's through abortion, because she listens to the philosophy of the devil, Esau Edom, who she's joined hand in hand with, and he convinced her that it's okay to delete your young ones, man, your seeds. So a child born in the Israelite, a child that's inside an Israelite woman's body has a 50%, I think 70% chance of surviving, because she may self-terminate that child, and that's all through her being convinced by the devil, man, and also through this feminism mind crap that they pushed on these women. And that's the apple. That's what it talks you about in Genesis, talking about the apple, the philosophy of these Edomites. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 9. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than a brawling woman in a wide house. So the Lord is telling you it's better to be in a housetop or be away from that woman than be in that house and you got a contentious woman that you got to deal with every day. The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3 on down through 5. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee, and also with them being confederate with our women, man. That's why she's able to receive some of these government subsidies, like Section 8, food stamps, or what they call EBT, college school loans. When she goes to these indoctrination centers, she's totally indebted to this devil for sometimes 20 years trying to pay back that school loans, man. So they confederate, she's confederate with this devil, man, to break up her home, to abort her children, and whatever children she has, she's going to lead them to the snares of the devil. She's going to lead them to the snares of the devil, man. And the men of our Israel, she's totally, in contentions with. She called the police on him. She'll go break out his windows, burn up his clothes. Just all type of fuckery, man, that she does towards the men of her nation, man. The book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 4. They may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thoughts in every one of them, and the heart is deep. So they done deep research, man. They know that how do you take a strong man's house? First, you bound a strong man. How do you bound a strong man? You get the women to put him in check and get him out of the house, because Esau Edom, through his government, is going to back her, man. He's going to back her to help destroy her house and destroy her nation. And that's what I often say, man. Eve is, Esau Edom's pit bull, man. You want to see a woman really go off, let a Jake try to stand up to her and see how she gets, man. She'll get up and start barking, like she really gonna kick some ass, And all Jake got to do is probably one hand is just kind of knock the shit out of her. But if he does, he knows the consequences of it. What's going to happen? She's going to call the police. They're going to come in and enforce these laws, and and it's just all downhill from there. So the best thing you can do is try to avoid and be around Eve, man. Even dealing with the women of our nation, talking about these so-called nigger women, and and this philosophy and these things have been spreading down to these other nations. Even the Northern Kingdom women. These so-called Hispanics and Native American women. They have taken on the ways of Esau Edom. But mainly these Judite women, man, these nigger women, man, they're really the worst. And you see it's being reflected in the media and these artists out, that they, the type of degeneracy that they push And all this coming from their devil, from that devil, man. Her paymaster, the one that controls her, man. The one that has that septum ring in her nose telling her what the hell to do. Last precept, Genesis chapter 3, verse 13. And the Lord God, Yahweh, said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And you know, and talking about she ate, she took on the philosophy of these devils, man. She wrecked her home. She wrecked that good thing that we had going on in the Garden of Eden, though. But all this was, was predicated to happen, because we're going to have to learn both good and evil. But always keep in mind that the woman, when she takes a leadership role and you fall behind her, nothing's going to happen but, chaos, man. Because the Lord, when he tells you, he deprived her of wisdom. She's not supposed to be in that leadership role. She has a position that she's good at when she's in her role, and that's up under her the man of her nation. Then her strengths kick in. She's a good she can be a good provider. She can be a good organizer. She could set things up in the home, man. She could manage the home well. Same way Esau Edom used her to help manage his business or his government. So with that being said, man, all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Pray this lesson was edifying. And your brother Malakamah, with that, say Shalom.